Good afternoon. Welcome to Stream of Card Consciousness. I am Mark Ford, as always, joined by my friend, my brother, my co-host Greg Smith, up in the Panhandle of Florida. Greg, how you doing today?
Mark, today I'm fair to middling. My sports life right now is rough, but other life is good. So I guess you'd say I'm doing all right, but I'm a little sad right now. So we'll talk about that here in a little while. How are you? How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. It was a monumental week in Room 6. I know a lot of you that watch the show follow the goings on of Room 6, and we got to hoist a big ass trophy this week for having the most course completions the first month of school. So we fully intend to hold on to that trophy all year. Our
Nice.
brave little education award. So I was super proud of them, but it was great to be able to see kids that, we've talked about it before. People that know me, know my story, know where I work and who I'm dealing with. Kids that, they haven't had success, and to be able to watch those kids be able to hoist a trophy and go crazy, it was really, really awesome. And then I bought them pizza on Thursday, and we had a good time. We pulled the plug and just partied down a little bit. And then, of course, Friday was a bit trying. But anytime you do really good, the next day is usually kind of a pain. But I was really proud of them, and it was more so just to be able to see them achieve, and that's their Super Bowl. That's their chance to win the big game.
Absolutely.
They've been doing it. So.
Well, I saw that picture you had of them hoisting that trophy. That's amazing, and good for them. Good for them. You guys have been smashing, from what I understand and what you've sent me. You guys have been smashing
Oh yeah,
the numbers.
yeah,
So it's really good.
they're. I mean, it came back. I use a lot of numbers. That's why big believer in metrics and analytics. With no different than sports. When I coached, I'm a numbers fiend. I love it. I'm into the stats and the numbers. They don't lie, and that'll get into what we're going to talk to about a little bit today. But the metrics. So they're 3.5x times expected. So they're killing it. So what they should be completing is a lot more than what they are completing. So they're 3.5 times the mean. That's incredible. They're
That's
carrying the
great.
ball.
That's
Carrying the
fantastic.
ball. That's a
Yeah,
franchise right there.
you're
That's a franchise. To put it in sports terms,
keep the pedal down and
that would be like a receiver having 200 catches and 3,000 yards.
well,
38
all I can say to that
touchdowns.
is
All
that's
right.
funny. Just keep the
Yeah.
pedal to the metal, man.
Oh, we
Keep
will.
them going. Maybe you can have them
We
all
will.
graduated.
And this isn't
Maybe you can
bragging.
have them all.
We got more. We got better. Trust me. We're in preseason mode. When we hit the stretch, so we're in preseason mode right now. So once it's go time, holy cow, it's gonna be awesome. I love it. So
That's great. That's great, man. So
so
you have
I
you
guess
said before.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, just to say you got a box of cards this week. You're gonna break a few. So Greg doesn't really have any cards of the week. He's got some 2024 Heritage. I just have a few real quick. And one of these is going in the mail up to Greg. We got this Yastrzemski relic. No, he's Mr.
Yeah.
SGC graded, but I saw this in an auction, and it's a 94 out of 99. Allegedly, that's one of Yaz's bats chopped up. We'll see, but that's going up to Greg. I was going to win that no matter how much I had to pay for it, and now that will go to Mr. Greg. And then I showed this on our show
That's
page,
amazing.
but I don't believe I did on the show. Artist Gilmore. That's a beautiful auto. It's a Prism product from, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. But Artist Gilmore, he knows how to sign his name. We love that. And on the flip side, of course, because I love autos, you got to go with the Ray Davis RD1 auto. That's some amazing stuff. That's that is a signature right there, Ray Davis. So
That looks good.
that's 1 of 5. So that not only is that going to be very hard to duplicate, RD1, that's 1 of 5. So that's amazing. Props to you, Ray Davis. You're a Bill, but you need to learn how to sign your name. On the other side, Thurman Thomas knows how to sign his name.
Nice.
So we got this Leaf 2020. This is numbered 78 out of 81. Thurman Thomas signed his name very well, and very underrated running back. I cannot believe that you can get his score rookie card for like $2 or $3. It's just it's one of the prettiest football cards of that era, and B, it's Thurman Thomas. And then finally, for Coach Chris, Mrs. Ford, she had such a blast at the Olympics. This Trinity Rodman Marvels card. Let me take it out of the plastic so it's not so shiny. This card is cool as hell. So it's
Soccer player.
soccer, Trinity Rodman, Team USA. Look at that thing. It does stuff.
Nice.
Trinity
That's
Rodman. We love
shiny.
Trinity Rodman. She kicked ass. She showed the world that we're still pretty good at soccer for the ladies. So that's for Mrs. Ford. And I'll get some cards from time to time and think maybe she'll put them on her desk at the hospital and, show people that, she is Bill's Mafia. And actually, I got her this hat and that's sat there. So this one flipped the switch. She, woo, give me that. Trinity Rodman. I will take that. And that is nice. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. So she loved that card. I love that card. That's awesome. So that's what I got. Cards of the week.
Well, let me just comment on a couple of those. First of all, thank you for that, Yaz. You messaged me, and that was very cool. Artist Gilmore, very very underrated player. He played, I think, at the University of Jacksonville, and yeah, it's really telling when you see people's old autographs just how much more they cared. It seems like, or maybe it's just because they weren't autographing as much, or it's probably they're not teaching the writing anymore or whatever,
Yeah.
but. The old autographs are beautiful, and Artist Gilmore is great. So, Ray Davis, he's a rookie, right?
Yeah, rookie for the Bills. Yeah.
Yeah, one of many Bills who looked really good the other night against Miami. So,
Yes, he did.
yeah, that was a name that Cook went crazy. Ray Davis was running all over us. So, that's a
Bills
cool card. And
Mafia.
then yeah, our Super Bowl picks. Yours is not looking real strong right now.
No, I picked Miami. You picked Buffalo, so it could still happen.
Oh my God!
I picked
We're
Buffalo,
gonna need a
Miami in the
miracle.
title. I mean, so we're close. We're all around it. I mean, I think
Yeah.
Miami's got a good team. They're
Yeah.
not done.
Uh, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. All right, so I've got a couple and just kind of some random stuff. I've really been in this hockey wormhole. I found some of these 68, 69 hockey. Those look so cool, and it's just like a whole new world, kind of like with you in the Star Wars.
Mhm.
These hockey cards have opened up for me. So, and I mean, I'm going to put my glasses on because I'm kind of blind, really. Um, but I mean, like Jacques Laperriere, Montreal defenseman, and Henri Richard. So I don't know
That's
who either one
Rocket's
of the.
brother. Yeah, it's Rocket
Oh, that's
Richard's
Rocket's
brother.
brother, Maurice
Yeah, he's a
Richard,
good
right?
player too. He played for like 20 years, so he had a nice career. He played into the
Yeah.
mid 70s. Andre,
Okay.
yeah, good player, great player. Well, I think he's in the Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, probably. He almost had 300 goals when this card came out, so that's
Hmm.
pretty decent.
Great player.
Yeah, so I love the new hockey cards, and if I look like an idiot, y'all, I'm sorry with these glasses. But I got this Heritage box. It was at Walgreens. It was like $6. It was on sale already, which kind of
Really?
yeah, $6.99.
Well, I'm gonna have to go to Walgreens.
Yeah, for a Heritage Blaster. So I'm gonna
There's
open
got to
this
be
up really
something in
quick.
there. Yeah, it got to be an insert or something, an auto maybe.
It says 35 cards, so we're gonna go with these.
Okay.
See what kind of RCs I can get here.
All right. Who we looking for?
De La Cruz, James Crawford got a banger. De La Cruz, he got a 10 on it. It was an
I saw
autograph.
that. Was that an auto card or something?
Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
it was
real
neat.
one, red ink auto.
Yeah, James has been popping some good cards lately, I see.
So I got this 2017 Most Valuable Players card, which is Jose Altuve and Giancarlo Stanton, Giancarlo.
That's cool.
Um, Byron Buxton, Trent
I like
Grisham.
Buxton.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
Buxton fan.
Spencer Strider, that's not a rookie, but this guy, Heimer Candelario, I've
All
heard
right.
his name quite a bit with the modern card geeks. I
All
thought
right.
he was with the Rays, though. So I guess they traded him to the Reds. I don't know. But all right. So let's see who else. James Outman. 2023 batting leaders. So Yandy Diaz and Luis Arias. That's kind of cool. A Mookie Betts all-star card.
All right.
Let's see who else. I've never even heard of half of these people.
Me neither.
Oh, this is kind of cool. Yogi Berra.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's a cool one. Um, Boy, and new age performers, Mookie Betts. So I don't even know that I got a rookie card in this whole stack.
Get any
But
shinies or anything? Nothing, huh?
no,
Wow.
no. Maybe that's why they're on sale for $6.99 because they knew there's
Yeah.
nothing in them.
No shinies.
Yeah. All right. So that was quick. I'm gonna rip the other one real quick.
Yeah, let's do it. We want something. We need a hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that was disappointing.
That was like a Fairfield box. That was like one of those Fairfield boxes right there with the 90 Fleer freaking pack in it. Yeah,
I
come
got a
on.
couple
Let's
of
go.
yeah, that was no good. I got a couple of Mookie Betts cards that are probably worth a dime.
There you
So
go. Come on now.
I mean that's the risk you run
It is.
busting wax nowadays. All right, so part 2. Here we go.
Good. Let's get a show
Alex
high.
Call. I don't know who that is. Dylan Carlson, remember him?
Oh, yeah. Boy, did I do good on that one, huh? Holy cow.
Yeah.
I sold that for like 60, 70 bucks. That was, you
Tell,
couldn't
tell,
get away now.
tell your story on that, man.
Oh, all right. When you're done ripping, I'll tell the Dylan Carlson story.
Okay. Chris Bryant, good Lord.
He fell off the planet.
Yeah, he sure did. This is the Parker Meadows RC. I guess that's Austin
right.
Meadows' brother.
Okay.
So for the Tigers. Yu Darvish, she's pretty good.
It's almost as disappointing as me getting a creased up Jim Rice card.
Right. That's kind of cool. That's a reprint of the
Oh, I love it. Yeah, Mantle Aaron.
Mantle and Aaron, cool. Yeah. So that's cool. I just make sure I don't get that mixed up with the actual one. Yeah. And then Mike Yastrzemski, I remember when he first came up with the Giants, it was so cool to see Yastrzemski in a box score again. Now it's just kind of like, all right, well, that's cool. Yeah, this is huge. So I'm done.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I didn't get a single shiny card.
Down the $13 down the for
Corbin Carroll,
right? Corbin Carroll, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I think he's hitting like 212 this year. After everybody's thinking he's going to be the next 330 guy, he's hitting like 210 this year or something. So anyway,
damn.
Well, that was
yeah.
So
my Dylan Carlson story, real quick. So
yeah.
This is before that asshole. Rad Fines ruined everything on Goodwill. So before that guy decided he was gonna put out all the fake news about what happens on Goodwill. So I used to get quite a bit on Goodwill, and I'd get it and open it up with show Greg and stuff like that, and we communicated. It was fun. So I get this binder of cards from Goodwill, complete trash, right? Complete trash, like really disappointing, like just not very good. But that's the risk you pay, and it was only like $8 or $9. But behind one of the cards in the binder, there was a card, so some of them were double stuck. I had a card behind the card. I'm like, oh, okay. I pull it out. It's a Dylan Carlson, like 1 out of 25 Mother's Day pink from rookie card. And at the time, that thing was going for like, oh my God, like I don't know, 175, $180. So I throw it up on eBay, and I think I got like $75, $80 for it. And so I ended up doing okay. So it was the odds. And this card was stuck in, it was all stuff from like the 80s. And it was just really just a bunch of commons. But that Dylan Carlson card was stuck in there. And we speculated somebody must have stole it or something from somebody who tucked it in there. I don't know. But so we did really good on that. So we sold it on eBay. So it was like 65, $75, something like that. And now that card's about like, maybe $7 or $8. So that was a good one.
That was a good one. I remember that was in the early days of you and I talking, and you said, "Hey, what do you think this is worth?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know. I don't know what that's worth."
It was hot. People were like all hot on that, man. They were like going crazy. And then when I sold it for what I did, oh, you're stupid. I'm like, whatever, man. I don't care. I paid hardly anything for it.
Right. Well, that just kind of leads us into what we're going to talk about, I think, with just hyping people and them living up to the hype, and not necessarily as a rookie, but just a career trajectory. And you brought up somebody you want to talk about, so I'm gonna let you dive right into that.
So this may be blasphemy, and I urge anybody in the comments to come at me. That's fine, and please do. I'm a big fan of dialogue. We can agree to disagree. I love it. It's a spice of life. We are not supposed to have the same opinions and feelings. That's what makes us different. So I think here comes blasphemy. I think Mike Trout's overrated. I think Mike Trout's a borderline Hall of Famer. And all the hysteria for his rookie card and paying thousands of dollars. I know at one point in time during the pandemic, it was like $3,000. And even in the pandemic time, when Mike Trout was going crazy, I'm like, really? I don't know. And if you look at the
Mhm.
numbers for Trout, you can say you're crazy for it, but I don't think I am. He's played 7 full seasons. 4 of the last 5 seasons, he's hardly played, basically. He's no longer a 300 hitter. He's in the 299 career hitter, which is only going to continue to go down because he hits in the 220s. 378 home runs, 954 RBIs, 1,648 hits. Is that Hall of Fame? Is that amazing? I don't know. Is that much better than people that we talk about all the time? Fred Lynn, Dave Parker, Don Mattingly, blah, 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 did our Hall of Famers. And then the one thing, he's been in the playoffs once in 2014 and what, 1 for 12. So you tell me Mike
Yeah.
Trout is one of the greatest players of all time. I'm gonna tell you you're freaking crazy because he's not. Yeah, he plays hard, plays the game right. He's played with one team his whole career. Part of the reason he gets hurt is because of his level of effort. I think he's an era player. He's one of the best of his era. The case can be made for him to be a Hall of Famer. He had 7 really great years. They really weren't that dominant either. If you look at the numbers, I mean, you're talking 40 home runs and 78 RBIs. Now, yes, part of that is the team surrounding him, but the numbers are not exactly staggering either. So I always wondered, even when it was going on, I was kind of always a head scratcher on Mike Trout. Uh, and I know we're going to probably use the Kirby Puckett comparison. So Kirby Puckett, 12 seasons, 2,304 hits, 318 career batting average, 207 home runs, a little less power, 1,085 RBIs. So more RBIs and 2 World Series. So who's the better player?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, you say era player, and I think a lot of people in this era go by WAR. Maybe as an end all be all, wins above replacement. And if you look at his WAR numbers, I mean, he's well within that parameter. I'm not going to go as far as to say that I don't think he's a Hall of Famer necessarily, but when you do look at his numbers, I'm looking at his numbers right now. I mean, realistically, he hasn't had a full season.
5 years.
Well, he played 119 games in 2022. Um, but other than that, he's got 53, 36, 82, and 29 games, which is less than half of a season since
Yeah.
2020. I mean, he has a lot of hardware. He's got 3 MVPs. He's got one, two, three, four number two finishes.
Mhm.
So I could say from 2012 to 2019, he was probably in line to be a goat, really. But from then till now, how much credence do you give a player for what they did for a 7 year period? I mean, the thing, and you alluded to this earlier when we were talking before the show. The comp that comes to mind with me and Mike Trout is really Sandy Kofax.
Yeah.
And how much do you give that? I mean, I think he makes it. I think it's, I think I'm a little different than you. I think he makes it in pretty easily, but there could be a case made that he peaked too soon,
Mhm.
but his peak was meteoric. So
It was.
I don't know.
I think he
But
will, obviously. I think he will make the Hall of Fame. I just don't
yeah,
I just think, like I say, he's an era player versus the players of his generation at the time. Yeah, he had 6, 7 really good years. I just don't think that the hype. I feel bad for the people that bought his cards for like $3,000 as a 10 because if you look at, I even went further. Surprise people. I really did some digging here, man. I'm all in. I'm all in, man. We're going next level with this show. One, two, three, four. So the last 5 card sales of PSA 10s. $1,020, 925, 900, 890, 850. So that is in the last 2 weeks is to dip $200. And that's a dip of about $2,000 from its peak. So people are feeling the same
yeah,
way that Mark Ford's feeling because we're down about 2 grand from peak and we're down a couple hundred in the last 2 weeks. Now, that said, me thinking he's overrated, it's an awesome card. Buy what you like, buy what you love. I'd love to have one. If that thing keeps sinking, I'm going to get one because I'm going to be able to afford one. and I like it. So
Right.
all that said, I think Mike Trout's a good player. I think he's a good dude. He's played on the same team. He doesn't make waves. It's not his fault they didn't make the playoffs. My point being, I just think it's a little bit over exaggerated, a little bit overrated, a little bit overhyped. So if that thing keeps dropping, I'm gonna buy one. I think it's a cool card. I think it's great. It's an iconic card. It's a card that everybody should have. So I did see a raw went for about 150 the other day. So that thing
Wow.
did right. So if I can get a raw Trout rookie for less than $100, I'm gonna do it. So when that thing does, because it will, it's going to,
Yeah.
because it's not gonna play again. You're not gonna see Mike Trout for who knows how long. You might never see Mike Trout again. So when that card dips down to 40, $50, I'm gonna get one because I think it's a great card.
Right.
But you know, tough
So
to.
in your course of digging, what exactly is wrong with Mike Trout right now? But I mean, do you,
He's got a knee injury. Blew out his hair his knee this time. Not the back. Now it's a knee.
okay.
They
So
were chronicling his surgeries. In the last 5 years, he's had like 11 surgeries or something like that. That's crazy,
wow.
man. I mean, God
Yeah,
bless him.
he's 32, and you're right. Looking at these numbers on Baseball Reference, he really, with the
Mhm.
exception of 2022, where he hit 40 home runs in 119 games. I mean, it's pedestrian. He's 220 this year, 263 last year. He's just not.
Yeah.
It's a case of peaking too early,
Right.
obviously.
And
And
4 years
you know,
ago,
did he?
right? People were saying, "Oh, you could challenge the
Yeah,
home run record." Blah blah blah. Well, he's not going to. He might challenge 400 home runs, but he's not going to get to 6 or 7 or 8 or it's not going to
right.
happen. So
Well, at this point, with 86.2 career WAR, you have to wonder if he's going to hit 100. You
right.
know, I mean that's the real pantheon to me is 100
Mhm.
WAR, and I don't see him getting that. I tend to like that stat. A lot of people, a lot of old school baseball fans
No, look
don't,
at
but I do. Yeah, I do think it's a good measure of.
yeah.
I wish I knew how they calculated it, but I think it's a good measure of a player. You know, assuming everything's on a level playing field. So I
And
don't
with
know. Trout,
Kofax was so freaking dominant. Um,
yeah,
and the thing too with him, this is where I have like a respect for players where I I would give them the Hall of Fame vote based on I'm not let me think of the word. Not morals, but character. Character. Kofax retired at what, 30? He could have bounced around, hung around, eked out another 5, 6, 7 years, and he walked away. His arm was hurt. He wasn't going to be the same player. He wasn't as into it. I think there's some personal things. He just wasn't enjoying baseball. He walked away. I mean, there's something to be said for that. That's
yeah,
like Barry Sanders, right? Barry Sanders, like, screw this. I'm done. I don't like it. And I think that, yeah,
right,
that initial shock of, oh my God, he kind of screwed the team turned into a bit of respect for people to do that, on their own terms. I'm not going to hang around. I'm not going to be a has-been. I'm not going to cash paychecks. I'm going to go home. So I think that's
right.
Kofax did that. And you look at those 5 or 6 years were just ridiculously dominant, like nothing ever seen and never since. So I have no problem with Kofax being a Hall of Famer. I won't have
Well,
any
no, and
problem with Trout either. I just think that it's a little bit, ridiculous, all the hype, and it has been for some time.
right, right. I'm looking at Kofax's page right now. His last season was 1966. He
Hmm.
was 30, and I
Yeah.
think the main difference why Sandy probably is more deserving than Trout is Sandy Koufax in his last season had his best season. So
Well,
I'm
look at
not.
it, sub 2 ERA or something.
Yeah, 173 ERA.
Oh,
His ERA plus was 190, which was the highest of his
are you
career.
kidding me?
Yeah, he
Did
had
they win?
317 strikeouts and 27 wins.
Or how many World
So,
Series did they win?
I believe they won one.
Well, 55. He was on that.
Yeah, he played from 55 to
59.
66.
So 59,
I
55,
think they won one. Yeah, so two.
2. All
Did they
right.
win in 59? They beat the White Sox.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
that card with
So yeah,
Maury Wills tagging Aparicio in the ass, and somehow it's a Wills card. So
yeah, Luis swipes base. You're right.
yeah.
So let me look here. So Koufax retired on top, kind
Hmm.
of a la John Elway, really. So
Hmm.
I'm not sure. It looks like they won 4 World
Oh,
Series.
4. Wow. Holy cow. We were just counting them by 2. What were the other ones? 55, 59,
Hold
and
on. I'm looking right now.
one in the 60s, obviously.
Yeah. So they won. Let's see. Wow, this is taking a little while. Sorry,
It's
everyone.
all right.
So the Dodgers won in 59. They won in 55, 59. They beat the Yankees in 63,
Okay.
and they beat the Twins in 65.
Wow. I don't even remember the 63. I remember the 65, but wow, I don't remember the Yankees in 63. That's crazy.
Yeah, the Dodgers swept the Yankees in
Holy
63,
cow.
and they beat the Twins 4-3. They beat the White Sox 4-2,
Hmm.
and they beat the Yankees in
Yankees.
55 4-3.
That's classic.
Yeah. So I the point is I think Kofax really probably is infinitely more deserving of just Hall of Fame, based on the longevity of his career, just based on his body of work than Trout is.
Yeah.
There's one where you could argue that Miguel Cabrera should have won the MVP instead of Trout.
Sure.
He, he had a better year, but Trout was just the darling. So, you
And I
know,
think like the last thing on Trout, I mean, I've been stacking Ichiro's. To me, I think Ichiro, like, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer this year, and I mean, that guy was
yeah,
amazing, amazing. And what he did, as Japanese coming over, the pressure, the hype, he lived up to it. He's amazing, a great guy, good teammate. To me, Ichiro was just, he was the player. Now I know they kind of crossed a little bit. Ichiro was at the end, Trout was at the beginning. It's not exactly the same era and different type of players, but Ichiro was dynamite. And
yeah, he
Pujols,
really.
Albert Pujols too. Never, Trout at the time when Pujols is just smashing. And
Oh yeah.
I don't get it. So, whatever.
Well, you look at Ichiro. Ichiro's a great case. You look at his first year; he had 242 hits, hit
Hmm.
300, hit 350, won the MVP and the Rookie of the Year. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, he ended up with 4,300 hits or something crazy between the
Yeah,
two leagues.
multiple championships. So
Yeah, yeah,
he had to
he's a
bounce
no
around
brainer.
to get them, but whatever, he got them. So who
Right,
cares?
right. Well, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Trout can come back. I mean, and be any kind of semblance of his old self. From all accounts, he's a really good dude. So I root for him, and you know, why not? But yeah, as far as is
Yeah.
he overrated at this point? Absolutely.
Like, and then my last point on Trout, again, I think it's crazy, but he's kind of like Joe Mauer, right? Mauer had that 6, 7 year run where he was amazing, and then he had 6, 7 years where he's okay. But if we're gonna put in Trout and freak out, then we need to put Justin Morneau in the Hall of Fame because he's just as everybody's good as Mauer, and then you got to start looking at Michael Young, and see, here we go. He could go down this road
Yeah.
forever. So let's just hope Trout gets healthy and has a couple decent years and gets in on merit, not on hype. So.
Right. Right. Well, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I think he gets in, but I don't think it's. I don't think he's near. I don't think he's unanimous, certainly. But I mean, who knows? But so I've got some news this morning. I was listening to the radio, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Tua,
All
if that's
right.
okay. We can
Sure.
talk about the Bills, and the Bills look strong. The Bills look strong, and they look like they haven't skipped a beat. I don't know. Josh Allen really. When you told me the other day that Tua makes 3x what Josh Allen makes, or something, what was the
Yeah.
number you gave me?
It's 2x. 2x. He makes twice.
When are they going to fix that?
They better fix it soon because it's going to be he's going to be the first $100 million man. I tell you that. So
Yeah, yeah.
he
He's great. He's great. And
is.
the Bills just have our number. But, I was watching the game the other night, and I was watching with my wife, and we're watching, and he's running for that first down by the goal line. And I just keep expecting him to slide. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you got the first down, slide. And he never did. And you know, this morning they're saying that he has no plans to retire and that he is going to wait till the doctors clear him, and then he's going to be right back on the field. I just I question. I don't question his love for the game, obviously, because he's willing to do that. But how smart is that? I mean, what I don't know. And for it really is going to make me real skittish to watch because, I mean, he didn't really hit Hamlin that hard.
No.
And if I know you're watching the game.
Yep.
Poyer led with his head earlier in the game. Remember they were
Yeah.
talking about it,
Yeah.
and clocked that receiver. It probably should have been a penalty, really. Well, it was, but it might have been.
Eject. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty blatant. So, but they both popped right back up,
Mhm.
was the point. And that seemed infinitely more violent than what happened with Tua and Hamlin. So I'm just wondering, it's gotten to the point now where every time he gets hit in the head, you're going to wonder, is he going to get a concussion? What are your thoughts? I
I
think he should
think
hang it up.
I have a good insight into this. And I seen it up close. And like when I lived in Buffalo, I was lucky enough to, yeah, I was friends with Jim Kelly and did some work for him. And everybody says, "Oh, I was friends with this one, that one." But it was like, "Hey, Mark, how you doing?" Invite me to the parties and the games and down on the field, whatever. But it broke my heart too because I saw the decline in Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly took a lot of hits, a lot of concussions. At the time, it was, I got my bell rung and you go back in the game. But here's my fear with a player like Tua and anybody. So my first opinion is it's up to them. If they're medically cleared to play, it's on them. They want to play. Who am I to say they shouldn't earn their living? They shouldn't make their money. It's no different than me. I've been sick. I've had issues over the summer. Nobody's telling me I can't be a teacher, right? I'm medically cleared. I'm okay. Am I great? No, but so it's the same thing. Just throw the money and all that out of it. You can't tell somebody that they can't do their livelihood. But my concern is, and I saw it with Jim, was the decline. And you're committing suicide on that field. You don't know it. You don't realize it. You don't think about it. Every single player in the NFL is dying. They're giving their life. They're going to die young. Statistics prove that out. Again, I love numbers. I love metrics. Every single player in the NFL has a 10-year less life expectancy than I do, than Greg does, and whoever's watching this, unless Jim Kelly's watching, I don't know. But my
Right.
point being that Kelly's given up half of his face because he played football. And it's from the painkillers, from the shots, from the hits, from the this, from the that. Tua is not going to live a long and happy life. So that bothers me. And it's tempered some of my enjoyment. Like me and my wife, Coach Chris, we talk about it. We might have been talking about this morning. I don't have that joy that I used to. Oh, I love the Bills or Bills Mafia. I love football. But also in the back of my head, when I see that, like when I see what happened to Tua, look, I hate the Dolphins. I can't freaking stand them. Right. I think Tua is
Likewise.
a good dude. Right. You hate the Bills. So, but I think Tua is a good dude. Even if he's a pain in the ass, POS, it doesn't matter. You don't want to see that. So, but again, it's his decision. I don't want to see it anymore. It's like that's disgusting. All right. We watched them do this and
Yeah.
they made me sick. I
Twice.
don't want to see it. I
Twice.
don't want to see it. I want to see it for him. Imagine being his wife. Imagine being his kid. Imagine being his family. And two was like this. And one of these
Yeah.
times he's gonna be like this, he's gonna freaking die. But
Right.
that said, if that's what he wants to do, then who am I to say you can't earn your living?
That's what scares. And I'm going to say this right out front. I don't hate the Bills nearly as much as New England and the Jets. So
No, man.
I don't know why, but I don't. So never have. But anyway, yeah, that's that's my fear, is that he's gonna get hit sometime and he's not gonna wake up. And
Yeah.
that would be a legitimate, maybe that's overreaction, or maybe that's,
No, it's not, Greg.
just
It's
being,
not overreaction. And me as a Bills fan, I saw it, right, with Damar Hamlin.
yeah,
I can tell you
yeah,
exactly. I can't even look. Even to this day, we don't think about it as Bills fans. We bury that because if we go there, look, it's emotional. We think, holy, I mean, look, I have goosebumps right now just remembering that, thinking about that. I don't want that for anybody. I don't want that for anybody's family. I don't want that for a fan base. I don't want that for a nation. I mean, that was. Whew, right, look at me.
yeah,
I mean, that was to this day, forever, forever. That will resonate. That'll be with us. We will
yeah,
never forget that ever. And
right,
that kind of made me think like, and we were, I think we were doing the show at the time, or just about so. We're friends. We were pretty close friends at the time. And I know I told us that change. You can see the change in my. I'm not as like crazy about sports as I was before that, and that was because
yeah,
of that. That put it in perspective, and I'm like, I saw a guy like die on the field. Like
right,
I really don't care how many interceptions Josh Allen throws. You know what I mean? Because he could die. So
yeah.
I don't want to see that. I don't want that for anybody.
I don't either. I don't either. And I told my wife before the game, or right when the game started, he made a tackle or something. Hamlin did, and I told her, I said, "Man, it's really cool to see him back out on the
Hmm.
field." Just after what happened, she's like, because she was in the kitchen. I yelled, I said, "Hamlin's playing," And she's like, Damar? Because she
Yeah.
followed it too. And I was like, yeah, he's on the field. He didn't play much last year, but he's starting. And it was, it was kind of ironic that Tua's ran into Hamlin.
I know.
Yeah. And
All
it's
the
weird.
people.
And it's weird too that this keeps happening on like national TV.
Does the
You know?
Bible game, the Bills game before when it was the back, but we all know he got knocked out. I mean, got
Right.
knocked out twice. So,
Right. And
yeah,
then the Bengals game, the first time he had the fencing
wow.
reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other night, I mean, it's just, it's a really bad look for the NFL, honestly. And
Yeah.
the only thing I'll say is, are they going to sanction him? I mean,
Mhm.
do they have any legal right to tell him he can't play anymore? I don't know how
Well,
that
that's the
works.
thing. You need to find it. If I'm a doctor, like, are we looking at the brain? Are we doing a brain scan? Are we seeing a buildup? Are we seeing damage? Are we, if he's not medically cleared, that he can't play. That's the thing. So, are they going to have an honest doctor that gives them the straight look? And I don't know. It
Yeah,
just, yeah. If the doctor says, "Hey, go play," then go play. But it's gonna happen again and again and again, and
sure.
it's sad,
Yeah,
you
it is
know.
sad.
It
Well, the
has
latest
nothing to
rumor.
do with football or winning games. Or look, I hope the Dolphins lose every game, but I don't want to see anything happen to anybody on the team. Not even Tyreek Hill,
Me
who doesn't
neither.
know how to roll down his window and not drive 120 in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. So, you just don't want to see it.
Right. Yeah. Well, the latest rumor, which is completely ridiculous, is they're going to try to pry Brady out of the booth.
I hope they do because he sucks on TV, so that would make my
Yeah,
Sunday a lot better. Get rid of Tom Brady because
yeah.
he sucks, and then he's washed up. So good, bring him because one thing the Bills defense specializes in is kicking ass. So it don't matter who's in there. Well, hey, since McDermott's been there, they've had a top 5 defense. You can look it up, America and the world. You don't believe me? Look up the stats since McDermott's been the coach. That defense is top 5 every year, and look at all the quarterbacks we send to the sidelines into the dressing room. So. It's what they do,
Well,
you
I'll
know?
say this: all it would take for me if I'm Tom Brady is to take about 10 minutes to look at our offensive line game
Yeah.
tape to say no, absolutely
Right.
not.
No, you got to play Buffalo and you're going to have them dudes chasing you around for 60 minutes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
Stay in the
that's,
booth, Tom. Work on your
yeah.
work on
I
your
hope they do
skills.
sign them. So bring them back. I don't think Tannehill's the answer either. I don't know what they do. I
Well,
don't,
I will say that I hope they, if it comes down to where they have to get somebody, that they try to get somebody with a little bit of experience.
yeah.
Skylar Thompson is not
Uh-uh. No,
not it.
no.
He showed up against you guys in the playoffs, though.
He
I will
did.
give
He
him that.
did. That
Oh,
was crazy. He had the game of his life. I give
he
him
did.
credit. And then it started snowing and it all went sideways.
Oh yeah, we pooped in our leg when it started
Yeah,
snowing.
once
We
the
were
snow
out.
came, it was good night, Skyler, good night, Dolphins. So it was, all she
Uh,
wrote. I was there,
funny.
man. So it's crazy. So
Yeah,
once the snow starts,
this has
it's
been fun. This has been fun.
yeah, hey, we love
Yeah,
our
we'll see what
snow.
happens to it.
I
Yeah,
don't see
we'll see what
snow, so
happens.
when I get up there in the snow, I go nuts, man. I go crazy. It's like the best thing ever. I hate the snow, but when I'm at a football game and it starts snowing, I'm going wild. I got my Labatt's, I got my snow. I'm good, man. Let's go.
Man, you need to post that picture of you when you were with your wife when you were
Oh,
when
I
you were
will.
young
I'll put it.
on the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
page.
So, yeah,
Ooh,
we were walking down memory lane, and some may or may not know. I've been with Coach Chris, Mrs. Ford, the good soon to be Dr. Ford, since 1988. So, I found a picture of us from like 1989. I look like I'm getting ready to join Alice in Chains. I'm emaciated and look very pale and horrible. And
you
she's
look
looking
like
at
how
me
they
with
probably.
a look of awe and love, but so we're still together since 19. We've been together for 36 years. It's remarkable. So but that picture's classic.
Congratulations.
I
Yeah.
tell people I weighed about 115 pounds when she met me, and they're like, "No way, dude." I'm like, "Yeah, I was like 150 pounds." Well, there's a picture, there's a proof. So I might have wanted to
Wow.
mix in a steak or some food. We'll leave it at that. There's a little too much other stuff going on. I was too busy to eat. So
That's funny, man.
yeah,
That's funny.
I'll put that
Well,
picture
I
in.
I'm I don't have anything else to say, man.
Oh man, good
This is
show. Yeah. So
yeah.
again, Cathi, the number one fan, Mom, love you. Hey, stay in the fight. That's what I got to
Yeah,
say on
yeah.
that. So I
She's
was,
doing good.
yeah, goosebumps. So, we
She's
love
doing
those
good.
that love us, and we've had no more loyal
Absolutely.
person than Cathi. So that's my shout out for the week is to her, the
All
mom.
right, absolutely. Same here. And just let's, we'll see what happens with Trout and with Tua and all those guys.
All
And
right,
this has been fun. It's just kind of riffing on it. So
absolutely.
have a good Sunday, everybody.
All right, everybody, have a good Sunday, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.